Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I know I've said it for the past like 4 or 5 videos, but I'm finally gonna open Larry's Euro bumper up and just check it out and see what it looks like, because it's been sitting on our front porch for probably 3 weeks now. So sorry, Larry, but I'm getting to it now. So here we go. Get my fancy box cutter here. Okay. Off real quick. Unwrap. And there we have a Euro Golf rear bumper. Voila. Alright, so this is a Euro Golf rear bumper, texture top here, and obviously I think it might be Tornado Red, or one of the reds. Really nice condition. The Golf rear bumpers have this really awesome rear valance here. Really aggressive. I like the styling of it. Really cool. So this thing's nice. So there you go, Larry. There's your bumper. And if you are wondering, no, the Euro Golf bumper will not fit on the Jetta. The dimensions are way different. Okay, door, chill out. I'm vlogging here. The dimensions are way different, but I wish you could, because the rear valance on this one is so cool. People have tried, and you can do it. You can cut that bottom lip off and put it on a Jetta bumper, but it's a lot of work. But I'll show you the differences between my Vento bumper and the Golf bumper here in a second. Alright, so here we have my European Vento bumper for my Jetta there, and this is Larry's Euro Golf bumper for his Golf. If you can tell right off the bat, the sides, there's your difference right there, clearly. The side piece for the Jetta is so much longer than the Golf, because Golf has the hatch at a smaller end, so that's why you can't fit it. I'm sure maybe if you want to like cut there and weld some of that, and you could make it work with enough time and effort, but there's your Vento bumper, there's your Euro Golf bumper, very different. And if you look down the bottom, this one has that really big kind of cool lip, and this one's more kind of like straightforward and a little bit smaller, but still very cool. This one's texture top. This was texture top until I sanded it down, so now this one's a smooth top, but he's gonna run texture top. So there are your differences between the European Vento bumper and the European Golf bumper. And just to show for one more angle, this is the lip on the Golf bumper there. Has a cool little like angled piece here and an angled piece here, and this piece actually right here pops out for your tow hitch. And then this is the one on the Vento bumper. Definitely you see a difference in how they look. This one's pretty much straightforward. A nice big cutout for the exhaust, which would be awesome for my Remus tips. And then this one has no pop out. It's just a hole where your tow hitch comes through. So there's your differences, and like the height differences is so crazy and how the different sizes, but that is the difference. At this point, you might be wondering how, or you might be wanting to run European bumpers on your car. Like I have a European Vento bumper on my car. You can tell by the indentation here on the front bumper, and then there's no side marks on the side, so there's differences in both. Getting the bumper is like the first step of it. You still need, for the front, you have to have the European rebar support, or you have to cut the American one. I have the European rebar support on mine, so that's how it fits. You cannot fit the European bumper on the front without either cutting your own rebar or having the Euro rebar. That's the only way you can do it. You can't just take it off if there's no support. For the rear, it's a little bit different of a story. So what we're doing today, actually, for the point of this whole video, we are cutting my rear bumper, my American rear rebar, to make it fit for the European bumper. You can take the rebar just completely off, but I don't want to have just nothing back there, so that's not really safe. You can also buy the European rebar itself, but that's money, so it's easier for me just to cut mine. Actually, going to Greg's house in a little while. He's gonna help me do that. Or you could like make your own, I guess, with like tubes if you want, like tube metal, and make your own like kind of like tube rear end if you wanted to. Any of those things work, but I recommend either cutting your American one or buying the European one, because I don't think it's the smartest idea to have no rebar at all, just in case someone hits you. You don't want that like less support in the back than pushing into your car, bending your frame, this and that. So if you want to run Euro bumpers, you have to have for the front either cut or European rebar, and for the rear you can just take it off if you want. I don't recommend, but you can. You can run the European rebar or cut the American one, or if you want to make like your own kind of tubed rear end, you can do that as well. If you can't tell, first off, I'm sweating. It's really hot outside. But before I go to Greg's, I want to show the comparison between the American rebar in the rear versus the Vento bumper in the rear, so you can see why we have to cut it, what we need to do. Alright, so here we have the Vento rear bumper here, and this is the American rear rebar here. So if you look down here from the ground, you can tell I have this centered to the bumper. This, you can see how it's wider, so we need to cut this, I think right about here, probably this corner off, and same as this side, so we're not hitting the inside of the bumper there. And I believe these two humps here need to get cut off, along with maybe trimming that up, because when you try to put that on, well, this rebar on there, this will hit in the center and the side pieces hit as well. So I think we're gonna cut here, cut there, cut those two off or trim them down, and also trim this center little flabby piece here off. That way this rebar will work with that bumper. Alright, so I have a little while before Greg is home, so I'm gonna hang on the AC, play some Forza, and it feels so much better in here than it does outside. So he's gonna chill for a little while. If you wanna add me, I'll put my Gamertag on the screen right here. We play Forza, we play Call of Duty, whatever you guys wanna play, so add me up. I don't know how many of you guys know, but one of my favorite cars of all time is the 240SX, specifically the S13. Probably my favorite body styles of all time. I will have one soon enough so I can slide. But look at this thing. Look at this thing. Oh, it's gorgeous Rocket Bunny kit. It's got the rotiform wheels on. I have this one and this one. So S13 with the coupe, Silver front end, and S13 hatch. If I could have any S13, I would probably take a hatch or even a convertible, but like either one, I'm not picky. I'll take either one of these cars or my little Fairlady Z over here. Gorgeous cars. Greg is now home. I got the rebar loaded up in the Mark V. I have my tripod, I have my glasses on. We'll see you at Greg's house. All right, made it to Greg's house. That might be my favorite way to like transition, I guess now. Look at my wheels are done. This is nice. He's getting my these are Detroits, right? There's two. There's 17s and 18s. These are 17s.
These are Detroits. These are 18s.
Okay, these are Detroits, and there's like 17s that are what? What's Huffs and Detroits. I want a set of these. Actually, he's getting these ready for my car right now, so those are gonna go to the Mark V in a little while, which is so nice of him. I even know he's doing that. Thank you. You're a good man. It's funny because I said in the video a long time ago I wanted these wheels for this car, like the perfect like OEM wheels. They look so good. So you're getting it ready for me. That's such nice. This is nice of you. Very nice of you. So I'll just put them in the trunk before I leave, and then we'll go from there. Dude, that's the face of denial. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So this is Greg's Vento rear bumper. If you remember at the house, I said the Golf rear lip is different. This is actually off a Golf, and he was gonna put that on the base of his Vento bumper in the rear, but he's not choosing to go through it or not. But I said you can do it. There's a lot of plastic welding and other things involved to make it fit, but it looks pretty cool. It looks a lot more aggressive than the one that's in the Vento bumper down here. And Greg is not running a rebar on the back of his car because he doesn't care about his life apparently. Do you plan on putting one on at all or no? You just gonna leave it?
I told you before, I had my...
Yeah. See man, I could just, it'd be so much easier just to take mine off and just put it on, but like if I do that, I know for a fact, like the next day, someone's just gonna slam into the back of my car and ruin everything. So I just want a little, just something else there.
You can't live like that, bro.
But I'm gonna do it anyways. And I'm showing them how to cut a rebar, so now they also know. So it's good. It's a 2-in-1. And I just don't want to get ran into. Alright, so at the current moment I can't find the exact DIY picture we saw before of how to cut the rebar, but I'll show you guys what we're going to do. So here's the American Rebar right here. We're going to cut this line here next to these two holes. We're going to cut straight down here and cut that whole side off. And cut this whole side off, and we're going to trim these two things down a good ways. The European rebar has the holes like here and here, so the European rebar is not a direct fit to the American cars. You have to trim it, so it's almost easier just to either run no rebar or just hack up your American one. So that's what we're doing today. So we're cutting this side off, that side off, trimming the humps down and see if that works. We can always test it on Greg's car because he has a Vento rear bumper. So after we do make the first few cuts, we'll see how it fits on his car, and we should be good to go pretty quickly. Look at the no rebar life, because Greg's a savage and has no care about anything. Lightweight. That's a good little bit of weight there. I mean, that's clearly race car modifications. All right, let's cut some stuff. Your car looks like so drift car right now with no bumper. It looks really, really cool. Maybe I'll just run no rear bumper and just do like a crazy like exhaust loopy thing in the diffuser. It looks very, very cool. We moved the nice cars over there out of the line of fire of shards of metal. So we're about to start cutting, and Greg said I should wear a face mask, but I'm not no baby. So if the title of this video is not "Let's cut my rebar" and it's like Greg dies, you know what happened, because this man said face masks are for babies. All right, cut some stuff. Alright, so one side down with no casualty is always good, and it's really windy out here, but the first side's cut, it's down there somewhere. So now all I need to do is cut the second side here, cut the two little humps off in the middle, and we should be good to go. Actually, after we cut those two sides off, let's try it without cutting the humps and see how it fits, and then we'll actually see if we need to cut or not. I'm making you guys a DIY. Since we couldn't find the DIY, I'm making you guys your own DIY. We'll post pictures and stuff like that, so you guys will be good to go. And just like that, 1 and 2, both sides are cut significantly shorter. Now we're gonna try it on with the bumper. We're probably gonna cut this off, but we're gonna try it first just to see. We might get lucky, but I doubt it. So, hey, you have Rain-X, and is this winter weather fluid?
Yes.
Can I borrow some of that?
I guess.
Okay, I mean, because my windshield wiper fluid thing's been on for like 3 weeks now, and I've been so lazy to fix it.
How many times have you been to the parts store in that 3 weeks?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. All right, the new modified rebar is on Greg's car here. We're gonna go ahead and grab his Vento rear bumper and see if it'll work. Okay. No, I think we're hitting in the center.
In the center already?
No.
Really?
Oh, my side's way up.
Oh yeah.
We're hitting the middle?
No wait.
Is that plastic piece? Okay.
Oh, you know what I think it's gonna be?
Oh, that's our piece?
Yeah, because remember how the bumpers are made different?
Oh, it goes up. Yeah, that's true. So what else do we need to...
We're gonna have to cut.
Okay, take two. Alright, so you guys can see this is the European rebar here. This is a picture of it. You can see that the holes here on, like, there's one hole and there's a hole versus the two here. But this one is way more like narrow and flat to like the car itself, and there's no those centerpieces. So I think what we're gonna do now is cut like a kind of an ovalish type, like a little like U shape on the very bottom, and maybe trim the corners more. I think it should be okay. So this is our new line here going up and around. Gonna take that kind of that center section piece off and maybe trim these corner pieces a little bit. And I think we should be good to go after all that. Alright, so both ends are off, and now the center section's, the first little hump is gone, and we trimmed it down a little bit, so hopefully this worked. But we've also decided that a plasma cutter is a very, very good investment that we definitely need to have, so we can just cut through everything possible. Alright, so I'm going to try it now. Hopefully it works now with that bottom piece cut out this section there. What are you doing? Breaking stuff over here. Okay, one last little bit to cut. These last little pieces here, so we cut the end pieces off, right? We need to also cut this little line off because this section is still hitting the bumper on the bottom part. So we're gonna cut this last little bit off, and then it should be good. Both ends off, one little hump thing, which I don't even know if that was necessary at this point. I think it was these originally I was hitting, so we'll see. But once those are off, we're gonna cut these, and so hopefully that's our last little problem. All right, our last little pieces then here are off. I think honestly that might have been the problem the entire time, but hopefully this needed to come off as well, but we'll see. So those are off now. You can see where we're up here, this is off. So let's see if it fits. 17 time is the charm. I think that was the problem. Honestly, I think that's what it was. So it should be good now, I think.
Let's find out.
I can see where I was hitting on the bumper down here. Alright, we're super close. It's gonna have to be, we thought it was just the corner pieces, but it's not. It's actually gonna have to be, if you look right here, we're gonna go ahead and cut like flat across this whole bottom section and basically take most of this little lip piece off so it's recessed a little bit. So basically just straight across here, take that off, this entire bottom row through here. So basically the top's fine, the ends are cut off. That one knob, I don't think was a problem, but it's off anyways. And we're gonna basically just cut like this little lip, like pretty much just straight across the whole thing so it's flat on the bottom, because the bottom piece was hitting the corner but also hitting the center sections as well. So once that's off as well, then the whole thing will be good. Alright, so unfortunately I'm out of time. I have to go to work for a little while. Greg's gonna be a champ and continue hacking away at this for a little while. Just that last little portion. I'm gonna come back in a few hours, and hopefully at that point it's gonna work and be all good to go, so you guys can do this at home and not do all like this stuff and just know exactly how to do it, because this is the trial and error section right now, because we couldn't find the DIY, so we are the DIY for you guys. So once this is done, you guys will have a good guide for this, or just run no rebar, I don't know. Alright, quick change of events. It's been a few hours, actually 9 o'clock at night right now. I finished work, went to Greg's house. Unfortunately, his cutting disc had run out and he didn't have another one, so we didn't able to finish the rest of the rebar. I went and got a new cutting disc, so I'm actually, like I said, it's 9 o'clock at night, so I couldn't go home because I wanted to finish rebar tonight, and I didn't want to go home and be at 9 o'clock at night and start cutting on the rebar and being loud. Everyone would be pissed off, so I came back to our gym here where no one is at now, so I can be loud and hack it up because we're in a warehouse district, so it's whatever. So I'm gonna get this knocked out and finished, show you guys the final product. I won't be able to put it on the cards tonight, but you guys can see it Saturday, but at least you'll be able to see how to cut it, and that should be hopefully enough. So that went extremely well. I got the last bottom piece cut off of the rebar there. I'm gonna pull all the other pieces out because I saved them all. I'm gonna put the entire thing back together and then pull it off piece by piece. So if you guys wanna do this to fit a Vento rear bumper on your car, you guys know exactly which pieces to pull off. All right, here on this lovely green floor, I have the total complete American Rebar on the rear. I'm gonna show you what I took off. Keep in mind, some of the pieces, I don't know if you needed to come off or not, but I was just hacking stuff apart so that it was out of the way just in case. So to begin with, so this is your rebar here. End pieces off, 1 and 2. Then I took the corner piece here off as well, and we took the bottom piece here off as well, so it's flat and sloped there. So again, top corner piece and bottom, this piece that hits the bumper. Then from the middle, we took the bottom hump piece off, and I just took this entire lower piece out. So this is what you have left. Very small and slim, no end pieces. This, if you look at this bottom line down here, it's very completely straight, flat. It's not way up here anymore, it's way down here because the bottom portion of the bumper would hit that. So we took all of that out, got rid of the end pieces, and then I slanted this so hopefully it doesn't touch the bumper there. I don't think that was a problem at all, but just in case, I cut that off. But this is all you're left with. So if you're going, hopefully this will work. I'm gonna be able to test it maybe Friday night if I can. I can't do it tonight, it's too late. So hopefully by then, hopefully this will work. So I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully that little DIY helped you guys out. Like I said, I couldn't, for whatever reason, we couldn't find the original DIY, so we kind of just made our own. I believe what we did will work perfectly. After that last little bottom piece was taken off, nothing should be hitting, so we should be good to go with that. Like I said, I'll test it Friday for you guys, and like I said, it almost fit with the bottom piece not cut off, so once it's gone out of the way, it shouldn't be a problem. But hopefully this helped you guys if you're trying to put Vento bumpers on your car or European bumpers on your car. Either way, you need to have either Euro rebar or modified American one. But that's how you cut up a rebar. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.